everyone, welcome to this month's vlog. I'm gonna hopefully take you along with me and show you what I'm up to this week. I say hopefully because I think this camera has had one too many falls, and one of the switch off mechanisms inside the camera is broken, because when I turn the camera off it chews through that battery within a couple of hours. So this camera is basically on its last legs, but I have ordered a brand new camera which was meant to get here tomorrow, but I actually got a notification off Amazon to say it was arriving today. I ended up getting exactly the same camera because I really like it. It's got a 25mm wide lens, so it's nice and a nice big picture on it, and it does actually work really well, and if I hadn't have dropped it as many times as what I actually have, it wouldn't be broken. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is a Panasonic, so it's a good camera. Anyone that's interested in it, I have actually left links down in the description box below because it is such a great camera to use. But hopefully today the camera behaves itself. I've had a busy morning so far, just trying to get myself sorted out. Been over to the shops, grabbed some olive oil that I needed so we can fill up the oil tank this week, grabbed myself a little bit of lunch, also grabbed a little bit extra of my hubby's birthday present, which were very boring, but some razor blades. But the reason I got him some razor blades is because he mentioned to me that he really wanted a nice heavy sturdy razor. He'd love to have like a really good quality razor handle one day. Now, one of my sort of missions this year is to expand two of my ranges, one of which is my facial range and the other is kind of my shaving men's range. And I kind of call it shaving men's range because it is predominantly aimed at the men, but there are ladies things scattered in amongst all the shaving stuff as well. So one of the things I want to bring in are a range of razors and introducing people to a more old school way of shaving as well. So using the traditional safety blades. So I've been using one for a while now and absolutely love it, and can't believe I didn't start off with them to begin with. That aside, I ended up putting in an order just after Christmas, got them in, and I specifically ordered my husband a whole set. So we've got a nice razor handle, we've got the shaving brush, the stand, and I also got him a travel razor as well. But the problem with the big razor handle is that it didn't come with any cartridges. So they're Mach 3 compatible, which is what he said he liked. So I've just been over and bought some of those for him. So that's all that done. I've done a bit of a clean up in the kitchen because this year I haven't been able to do my usual deep clean that I try to do in my first week because it was pretty busy, and I've had to start breaking it down to doing one section every couple of days. So today I'll be, or maybe this week because there's a big job in there, I'm going to be cleaning that back area. So I've just started by cleaning all the fridge and the microwave and everything like that. So that's all nice and clean. I've got to go through the shelves, work out what ingredients need to go, which ones can stay. And then this week, we've got a few things on this week. Hubby's birthday is tomorrow and Lucy's operation is tomorrow, which I am incredibly nervous about. It hasn't come quick enough because I hate seeing Lucy in the pain that she's in, but it's also come too quick because I am so nervous about her having this massive operation and the 6 weeks of aftercare that we've got to give her. We don't exactly live in a house that is very friendly to aftercare of a dog that's not allowed to use steps. So our house not only has it got stairs inside because we were upstairs downstairs, to get from off the downstairs level there are steps to get down into the backyard, and there's even steps to get up to our front house. So the next 6 weeks are going to be trying and interesting. We'll see how it goes. This week's going to be the hardest, but hubby has actually booked the next 8 days off, 8 or 9 days off to be with her. So he'll be at home making sure she behaves and doesn't undo all the surgery. What have we got to do today? I've just put my melt tank on for my candles. I have got completely sold out of one of the fragrances last week on the Sunday, so I need to restock that, and I've got a refill order to do. We will be stocking up the oil tank so I can make soaps later on this week. I have a few orders I need to go pick and pack. And then some things that I also need to do this week, I will be getting ready for the Soaping and Candle conference that is held in March down, I'm going to say near Melbourne, later on this year. For ages I was thinking it was in Melbourne, and we've been planning our trip, and we went to do the actual Melbourne part of it because we're spending time before and after, and then I realized the conference is actually 25 minutes outside of Melbourne, so it really threw all my planning for 6, but we're all sorted now. But I am going to be a guest speaker down there showing how to make lotions, and into the little goodie bags that everyone's going to get, there is going to be a little pot of moisturizer in there, and I'm also going to make up a little sample bag from the Pimp My Soap range as well, so people down there will all get a little piece of soap dough and some biodegradable glitter to sample as well, so that I need to make those up because I need to ship them down to Melbourne. I'm not going to have enough room in my bag to take them down. Plus, I'm pretty sure Rhonda's going to want to start putting the bags together before the actual conference. So that is on my list of things to do today. So it is almost time for me to open up the shop. Oh, one thing I wanted to say, I got 2 of these messages this week, and I just want to warn Aussies more so about this. If you get these letters coming in about registering your business name, chuck them in the bin. They're not scams, so we're not going to call them scams. What they are companies out there who act as a third party to register your business name. But instead of spending something like, I don't even know what it is these days, but let's call it $25 per year. So if you want to register your name for 3 years, it should cost you $75. These guys charge you $129 because of all the administration charges. And so many people get caught out because of those. So I had 2 of those this week, so I know that they're both not scams, but we can just chuck them in the bin. So Aussies, don't get caught out by all these businesses wanting to register your name. Do it yourself. Get onto the Australian business name registry yourself. It is so much cheaper, and they'll send you an email when it's time to renew your business name. They won't send you a letter in the post. Alright, let's get on to it. I've got to go and get my doors open, go and pick these orders, and then we'll get into the working week and we will see where we go. Okay, so I've just got back from doing a post office run. It has gone 4 o'clock. It's been a really, really busy day today. I've had lots of people coming and going. Pop that box in there. So it's been a really, really good day. Very happy with how it's gone, and I did get everything done I wanted to. So we've got the candles done behind me. I'll be able to label them up tomorrow. The oil tank is now full with all my soaping oil, so I can do those bits. I've got a few bits and pieces in my box that I'm taking home with me today, and I've got hubby's present all wrapped up ready for tomorrow. I've just got to finish doing my cash up, ready to go home, and I've just got all the empty oil cans to go out into the bin. I have had notification that the new camera has been delivered, so I'll get home, I'll take all the footage off this card and get it all reformatted for the new camera. And then tomorrow when we come in, I've had a huge rush on magnesium oil today. Like, just I've started the day off I think with 8 bottles of small magnesium oil, and I've got 1 left, so I need to make that tomorrow. I've got some face scrub to make as well. I also need to stock up on my conditioner bars, and I also want to make the oils up for the soap dough, which I'll be making for the conference pack. So we'll see what I can get done tomorrow. As I said, it is Lucy's big op tomorrow, so I might be a little bit distracted. We'll see how we go, but for now I'm going to take this lot home and see what happens. I'll see you later. Hey baby. Without falling off. Not the fingers. Silly. Wanna try again? Good morning. Lucy has been dropped off to the vet. I'm really, really nervous. They're an excellent vet down there. She absolutely loves going down there. She gives them all kisses and tail wags and everything else. I know she's in really good hands, but it's still going to be a very long day. We get to go and pick her up at 4 o'clock today, so I will be shutting the shop up at about 3:30 today so we can go and get her. Last night I stopped off and got some magnesium flakes so I could make my magnesium oil. I've got the new camera, so we're filming on that today. And wouldn't you know it, the other one, I got it home last night and it's holding its battery charge now, which is really frustrating when things do that. But anyhow, we've got a new camera. Does mean I've now got a little backup if I need it. Brought down the proper camera today because I was meant to bring that yesterday. Alright, got everything out of the bag. Hubby had all of his birthday presents this morning. He really loved it all. Very excited to see his new razor and everything. We've got birds here down the shop as well, trying to get through my front door. So what have I got on today? So first thing I actually do want to say, because I was meant to mention it yesterday and I forgot. So I'm actually in my 3rd week of being back in the shop now. But on my first week that I came back in here, my whole entire year was just started off so nicely, really put a huge smile on my face. I came in, pushed my door open, and through my little mail slot an envelope fell through the door, and I found a Christmas card there from one of my viewers. Now, because you have said that you don't comment very often, I'm going to assume you don't want me to say your name, but thank you so much. You know who you are. It really started not only my week off really well, but it started the whole year off really well too. So thank you so much. It was so nice to just find that in my little doorstep. So I have got that there, very much appreciated. Things we've got to do today. So I've got all the candles over here, which have all set up nice and firm. So we're going to get those labeled out onto the shelf. I also did a quick test. This is the cream that I'm going to be putting into the into my little sample thing. So this one's actually mine. I'm going to take this one home for me because I needed some new moisturizer. I did a quick sort of test of it because it is one of the cream recipes that I do currently use. In fact, that is lovely. I may even end up changing my own. I have already got the moisturizer recipe, which I was going to give out, but then I sat there thinking about it, and I know that there is a lot of other people out there who are very particular about keeping their brand palm free, and I had a couple of ingredients in mine, such as cetearyl alcohol, which is needed to add a little bit of viscosity and sort of volume to lotions and moisturizers, or it can be used for that. That is made with palm. So I wanted to take that out, and I wanted to try using an emulsifier that was completely palm free. So I just decided that I would very quickly make my moisturizer recipe. Sorry, I'm watching someone watch me through the window. I decided to remake the moisturizer recipe with a palm free emulsifier just to see how it goes, and it does feel really, really nice on the skin. It's nice and light. It's got a really nice viscosity in there as well. So I'm pretty happy with how that's come up. So we will make the big batch. I'm also going to actually film making it, and it will be like a private video for all those who, whether they're attending the conference in person or virtually, they will get access to this video to see how I actually make it. And the recipe is also going to be given to people who are attending the conference too. So we're going to hopefully get on with doing that today. And there was something, we're going to make the magnesium oil today, and then we'll see what else we kind of get up to, because as I said, I am a little bit anxious about Lucy. I know I don't have to be, she's in really good hands, but she's still my baby girl, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go and get my bag put away. I've got about 5 minutes till I'll go and open the door up. We'll get a message out there as well to say that I'm closing the shop door half an hour early today. have just done a little bit of a stock take. I need to put in an order to get some packaging items. So I thought while I'm doing that, to help keep the cost of my shipping down, what I'm doing is just having a look at the sort of things that I know I'll be ordering in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm putting them into this order. Generally, you'll find with shipping there's kind of like a base minimum that you're going to have to pay, and then quite often if you only add in 1 or 2 extra things, it doesn't cost much more to get them sent. But it could actually cost you more if you split them across 2 orders. So when I put in my order for the packaging stuff, I'm just going to put in these extra few little things just so it doesn't affect my shipping costs too much and keeps that nice and low, because that's just an expense. It's so hard to get back. You've got to really think about that when costing your product. So that's how I try to keep my shipping costs low. So I got all that done. I got a phone call about half an hour ago to say that Lucy is doing really well. She has come out of surgery before lunchtime, and she's awake, she's recovering, doing well. They said that when they had a look, there were 2 possible things that was wrong. Both were meant to be sort of tears in ligaments and sort of areas holding the bones together. The one that they were really concerned about is apparently not torn, but the other one actually is torn, or was torn, because they've now actually fixed it. So that was really good that it was only one of the 2 issues. I doubt it will bring the vet bill down, but that's beside the point. She is apparently recovering really well, but the vet said we have had to put some sedatives onto your list as well. Because apparently she's trying to be a little bit too active, considering she's just been under anesthetic and had all these other things pumped into her. She's trying to be a little bit more active than what she probably should be, so they're going to send us home with some sedatives with her as well to try and keep her nice and calm. So hubby's going to be here in about half an hour. We'll go and pick her up and we'll go and find out exactly how much grief we are in for the next few weeks, because the next week we have to make sure that she really does stay very, very calm. We're going to have to actually physically take her out to the toilet and support her back with a towel sling or something. So it's definitely going to be very, very interesting. So I've got about half an hour until hubby comes. I have set up some oils to make some soap dough tomorrow for these samples I'm going to do. I haven't started the face cream samples yet, because I have just had this thought of something else that I might want to put into it, but I've got to order it in. So I'm going to have a think about that tonight and see how I go with that. But I have got my soap dough sample oil all set, ready to go, and I've done my magnesium oil spray today. We've done a face scrub as well, so I have done a fair amount of stuff. And I've also been packing my soap orders today as well, so thank you for everyone who has been ordering their soap dough. I'm going to be dropping that off on the way to going to pick Lucy up today. So I'm going to go and sit down, work out what I need to do tomorrow, and then we'll be back in. I'll let you know how Lucy goes overnight. Well, she's home, and that's where she's landed. guys. I've not had a lot of sleep overnight because I was too busy listening to what Lucy was doing overnight. We picked her up yesterday from the vet. She had that typical groggy look that pets get after they've had surgery. I think it's such a cute look that they get. But we picked her up. She was doing really well. She was keen to get home. The biggest challenge was getting her in and out of the car. She weighs 43 kilos, and trying to get her out of the car so she doesn't put any pressure on this back leg was so hard. She did kind of fall out the car when we got her home, and luckily fell on her bum on her left side. So she didn't do any damage, but we got her inside, got her on her bed, and she kind of just passed out for the night. We eventually, when we went to bed, we managed to get her downstairs, took her round through our front door, down the side of the garden, and in through the laundry door. So it's a lot of hard work, but this morning we were a bit worried last night because it's like, this is really hard. But this morning she was a lot more lively. She was keen to get up and go for a little bit of a wander through the yard. She knew that she was going to have to go. It was really quite funny. She knew she was going to have to go through that laundry door and around through the front. So she's already picked up on that, not even kind of 24 hours in, that this is what she's going to have to do. We've got special ramps. We did actually buy ramps a while ago, which we've attached to the steps to help her get in and out. And we've been training with her for the last 2 months to walk up and down these ramps, so she's well used to them. We've got a bit of a sling to help support her back as well, but she's doing really, really well. She was quite lively this morning, so I did give her the sedatives that we've been told to give to her just to keep her nice and calm and relaxed. The issue is that we're going to have to watch how she actually goes to the bathroom, because I knew she wanted to go this morning. She's quite a private dog when it comes to that sort of thing. She doesn't like people watching her. So the fact that we're having to actually support her back end while she goes to the toilet, she just did not want to go, but you could see that she wanted to go. We tried to let her do it by herself and she just couldn't do it. So she gave up and decided that she wanted to come back in the house and get back on her bed, and looked really sorry for herself. So, but we'll get through it. It's, not even 24 hours, but she's doing well. She's not trying to lick the leg or anything like that. So really pleased. Hubby's with her today. So this morning I've come in and she saw it's a really dull, grey, miserable day. You can probably hear the rain on the top of our roof now. So I'm expecting it's going to be a fairly quiet day in here because of that. So what I started off by doing, that's got a little bit too much in, it won't go close. So I've made the soap dough samples that I will be taking down to the conference. I was struggling yesterday trying to work out what colours to do. I asked my husband, and I asked on the Pimp My Soap page as well on Instagram, and I hate the word obvious, but everyone came up with the most obvious answer that I just, for some reason, my brain was not computing with, and that was to put in the primary colours as my samples so people could mix the soap dough and make new colours and see how easily that can be done. So thank you to everyone who did give me the suggestions over there. So I have made the red soap dough for now, and we're going to be doing a blue tomorrow. I'll do the yellow on Sunday, and then I'm going to do black to go with it next week, and then hopefully by the end of the week we'll be able to get them shipped off down to Rhonda, ready to go in the bags. And I'm also going to be including some biodegradable sparkle in the sample bag. We've got new colours arriving hopefully next week. That's what the tracking is telling me, so we'll include some of that as well. I've just finished packaging up the magnesium oil here, and then I'm just looking at my board, I really need to make some conditioner bars, so I'm going to do that, and then I will see where else the rest of the day takes me. I am tired because I was half listening to make sure that Lucy wasn't getting up last night, so not the most awake today, so we'll see how it actually goes. I might just potter around, do the little things, and because if I try and do anything too big while I'm tired, I'm just likely to stuff it up and have to throw it away. So we'll see how the day goes. Oh, I also wanted to say, I've just spotted, this was that t-shirt, or one of the t-shirts that Print Me Pretty sent me last year, and I wanted to say just how impressed I am with them again. This has been through the wash several times, and I've had shirts that have had things you know, put onto them, and the stuff starts to peel off, but this has been through the wash so many times and it's still nice and bright and clear. And the same with the yellow one. The yellow's got black print on it, and they just wash up so beautifully. So if you're here in Australia and you're looking for printed like printed clothes and stuff, and the cups and things, go and check out Print Me Pretty, because they are fantastic quality. All right, let me go and get these moved over to the other table so we can start labeling, and then I'll decide what else to do. Good morning, guys. First up, apologies for the abruptness of the ending of the filming from yesterday. When I got the new camera, I forgot that I needed to adjust the settings on here. It comes at its highest quality recording because it is kind of aimed at people who really want to film fast action stuff like kids playing sports, that sort of thing. And when it's set at that quality, it takes up a lot of space on the SD cards, to the point that I only got a day and a half worth of recording on here. And usually I can do an entire week plus have 4 or 5 other soap making videos on my card before it tells me it's full. So it does take up an awful lot of space, and it decided yesterday it had used all of its available space and wouldn't film anymore for me. But I have now adjusted the settings back down to what I need for doing basic sort of filming. But it is really good that if we do decide that I'm going to go and film something that needs that sort of high-paced action sort of stuff, I can easily change it and record it so it gets all those crisp details. But it's just not needed for soap making, but it's good to have it there. So we won't cut out. I'll be able to get some better footage for you today. What I was actually doing, oh, there goes the dishwasher. What I was actually doing yesterday when it cut out on me, and thankfully I was able to record the part of the video that is going onto YouTube, but I was using the items out of the creativity box on the Pimp My Soap webpage to create some little embeds. I was using these soap cutters. Well, they're not soap cutters. Lee and I have this conversation a lot of times because I call them cookie cutters. She's created these cutters specifically for clay and for making jewellery and that sort of stuff, but they do work with soap dough as well, and I bet they work with cookie dough as well. So really, really versatile. And I had to make me up these 2 exclusive shapes to go into the Pimp My Soap creativity box, because I wanted to have a sort of Irish theme for the January box. And then I created the soap this morning, and it's come up exactly how I had it envisaged in my head when I created this box and asked Lee for the bits to go in here. So really, really happy with how that's come together. Talking of Lee, thank you so much for spoiling me this week. When we got home on Thursday, or when I got home on Thursday, there was a letter for me, and it was from Lee. And I said to her the other day, I've been using her planner, absolutely love it. And I said to her, my only thing with the planner which I wished it had was some sort of tab system so you knew exactly what page you were on. So I actually tied a piece of ribbon on here so I knew what page I was on. And she said that she'd actually created herself a little magnetic tab, and she'd make one for me and she'd send it through. So she's sent me this little leather strip that is a magnet. It's easier to do this when it's sitting down. So then what we do is it just clips over the 2 pages, so that when this is closed and I go to open it, I know exactly where I am up to. So that's really, really good. So thank you for sending that through. And not only that, she then sent me a whole heap of stickers to decorate my planner with. So we've got those ones. I love this one because I really, really need that when I'm procrastinating a little bit. We've got the beautiful sunflower in there as well. If you watch her channel, you'll know that she talks about tablespoons, and she always says hello lovely people on her channel. So I absolutely love that. That just made me smile going through all of these. We've got her kind of classic stick blender one there as well, and then of course there are like Australiana. I'm trying to find one. There it is. We've got the little Australiana flowers as well. So thank you so much for spoiling me. Looking forward to actually decorating this. And she's also sent me through a little stencil to use, so I know exactly what I'm going to do with that one. So thank you, Lee, for that. On the agenda today, so we've already made the soap. I've made the yellow soap dough for the little sample packs. I do have to wrap up the big bars of the red soap dough that I made. The small samples I've got in the box over there, because I'm just going to do all 4 and wrap them up in one piece of film rather than trying to wrap however many. Well, I'm doing 60 little bars, so rather than trying to wrap up 60 by 4, 240 individual things, I'm just going to wrap them up as 4 inside the film, and hopefully that will be easier, less wastage of film as well. So we'll wrap the red ones up. I have to wrap up my conditioner bars today. I'm going to get started on this cream as well, because I have said to Rhonda I'm going to send all this down to her next week. I should be able to make the other 2 colours next week and then send the whole lot down to her, and next week I should have my new bio glitter in as well. So that is the plans for today. There's going to be a bit of noise outside, I think, because there's a shop. So directly across from me is another block of shops, and at the other corner of it there has been a shop that's been empty for ages. It was a nail bar. Heaps of things have gone wrong, mainly through COVID. They ended up getting their shop repossessed, and it's been sitting there full of nail equipment for a couple of years now. But I noticed this week they were starting to disappear out of the shop, and today I've noticed some people walking in with keys of family. So looks like someone's taken that shop over, which is really exciting to see new shops coming into the street. It really does bring a lot more people through, so that is really exciting. But they are clearing that stuff out, so they're throwing a lot of stuff into trucks, making a bit of noise. So we might not have too much talking today, which is probably a good thing. Let's get on to making. For some reason I have really struggled to film this today, but I have finally got in the water and oil phase for the lotion that we're making for the conference. I've got a big 3 kilo batch in here, but I have really struggled for some reason to film this one and have done several takes on it. So I was trying to give as much information as I possibly could in this video, but I was finding I was repeating myself, or I was saying things that just made sense in my head but actually doesn't make sense when I was saying it, and just trying to find the best way of wording things as well. So I kept ending up repeating myself a lot and then having to re-record it because it was just sounding so silly to me in the present moment. But I'm sure when I go back and watch the footage it's going to be fine. I just can't believe how incredibly nervous I am about this. You know, I make creams all the time and pop them out on the shelf. I'm talking to my customers about them, I'm talking to my patrons about them and everything else, so I know that I've got the knowledge and the experience there. And you know, I've done several courses about lotion making, I've done heaps of research testing and been making them for years now. But to be asked to speak at a conference, I don't know, it's a really strange feeling. It's a real honor that someone has seen my work and thinks that it is good enough to get up and speak and demonstrate in front of people. So it's kind of, I've put this huge pressure on myself for some reason. And yeah, this video, pretty much like me talking now, it just sounded like a whole heap of gibberish. So I've re-filmed it and filmed it and filmed it some more until I got it to what sounded right to me at the time. But I finally got it in there, it's doing its thing. Hopefully the cool down side of the video will go a little bit smoother. I did also have to stop several times because the guys next door have brought their bikes in and they can be quite noisy. It is lunchtime. Hubby has been sending me a couple of photos of Miss Lucy. It's quite hard because she had, oh look, he's just sent me another one. I don't know if it's going to come up well on here. She has this patch out this. I'll show you this one here first. She has this patch out our side gate that she just absolutely loves to sit in, and often if we can't find her in the house, she'll be sitting out there sunbaking. And the last couple of nights we've been there, she knows she has to go out that front door. She learnt that so quick. She knows she has to go out the front door, down the ramp, and then we can take her through the back, and she automatically goes straight for around the back because I think she just really wants to get out there. But she must be feeling all right because look at her. I'm loving getting these updates. So she must be feeling really good to actually be lying on her back and exposing her belly. She must be feeling confident. She must be feeling safe and everything else. So that's just really brightened my day. We are having a little bit of a concern, but I have actually also, let me just close that down. I have also been speaking to someone over on Instagram who their dog has been through a similar operation. I don't know if it's the same or similar, but it's the cruciate ligament surgery that they've had, and she was telling me her dog had had it, and I was asking her a couple of questions because it wasn't covered with us by our vet, but it was covered with her. And one of the things we found is that since bringing Lucy home from the vet, she hasn't gone to the toilet, which is really concerning because we don't need a UTI on top of everything else that we've got. And we don't know if it's because she's been a little bit off on the water. She doesn't drink a lot of water anyway, so we don't know if it's that. She has thankfully eaten food. She's had she wanted dinner. We gave her half a pack of her dinner on the first night, and she ate all that. And last night she was keen to, we went to give her a dinner on her bed, and she wanted to go outside and she wanted to eat it at her bowl, and she ate the whole dinner, but she hasn't been to the bathroom. She did try, but because she can't support her back leg, I mean, I don't know, maybe the blokes would understand more, but try going to the toilet, you know, resting on one leg and you can't use the other leg. So I think that put her off, and she's quite a private dog, so she doesn't like people standing over the top of her or watching her from a distance while she goes to the toilet. So she's not liking the fact that we need to hold a towel under her to help her. So we don't know whether it's just that she doesn't need to go or that she's been put off from going. So, but I do thank Rachel, who has been giving me bits of advice over on Instagram, telling me what they've had to do with their puppy. They're a couple of months into the recovery of it, so that has really helped. But that photo that he's just sent me of her rolling around on her back, that's really brightened up my day, because I know that she must be feeling a bit better. Anyway, it's about lunchtime, so I'm going to go and grab myself some cheese and biscuits. I've got some goat's cheese in the fridge, so I'm going to have that. By the time I've had my lunch, then I should be able to move on to the next section of my thing. What I'm going to do while I'm having my lunch, I actually want to work on, and I had someone ask me today, I've been wanting to do them for ages, I want to make some solid cleansing bars for the face. Some people just don't like to use soap on their face. Not everyone's skin is suitable for using, whether it be Syndet products or pure soap products. You've got to find what's right for your skin, and today I've had someone asking me if I'll ever bring out a solid cleansing bar because they don't want to use the plastic bottles of cleanser. So I thought while I eat my lunch, I'm going to have a little bit of a look at this sort of recipe that I've got half planned out and see what else we can add into it to make it better. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm a little bit excited. It has been busy in the shop today. I've had people coming and going, but I am going to take the chance and actually film another video. I've already done the making of the in-bed, but I've decided I'm going to make the soap this afternoon. The reason I'm excited about it is because I've actually just pulled up the fragrance description. It's one I've got from off of the fragrance shed, and I was convinced this was going to be brown and wasn't going to be a nice fragrance oil. It is called Buttered Popcorn, and it smells just like cinnamon buttered popcorn, and I love that smell. I will admit I don't like to eat the buttered popcorn at the cinemas because it's a little bit too salty, artificial for me, but I love the smell of it. I actually prefer sweet and salty popcorn. I love that sort of combination of the sweetness with the saltiness of of traditional popcorn. It's so good. But I got this buttered popcorn and it smells delicious. I was convinced after smelling it in the bottle, I couldn't see through the bottle to see it was a fairly light color. I was convinced this was going to go brown, and I'm thinking there's no way I can do a red and white soap with this fragrance oil, but I've just pulled it up and apparently there is 0 vanillin. It says slight discoloration, so there must be a tiny bit of ET in there just to make it that yellowy color. So I am going to risk making this as a red and white base on my soap, and then I have a whole heap of little popcorn embeds to go on the top. So I'm really looking forward to making this. So I think I have pretty much got everything. There's one more thing I need to go and get, and then I'm going to be ready to make this buttered popcorn. So I'm going to commandeer the camera for a little bit and I'm going to go ahead and make it, and then I'll show you the finished top when it's done, and then you'll have to wait for the video to see the rest of it. Alright, it is time for me to go home. I should have gone home about 20 minutes ago, but this popcorn soap, oh my goodness, I gave myself an hour basically. I don't need an hour to make soaps, but I started making this an hour before closing time, and it literally took me a whole hour to do this soap. So it really doesn't look like much at the moment, and honestly there wasn't much to it. It was a very simple pour that I have done on this. The issue was the fragrance oil behaved so well. It took 20 to 25 minutes for it to actually set up enough for me to be able to put that popcorn on the top of it. So a very well behaving fragrance. We've had a pretty good day today, so we've got the popcorn soap done. I did my pot of gold soap this morning. It's looking beautiful. The colors are really popping on that one. I have got the pot of moisturizer done here for the conference. Tomorrow I will be potting it up and labeling it. I also had a bit more of a play with this recipe that I've been working on for ages, and it looks like this one is going to work this time. The last one I didn't want to come out of the mold, and this is only a couple of hours old and it's already popping out, so that is looking really hopeful. Previously my attempts at this is the bar cleanser that I was talking about I'd look at before lunch. Previously they've not come out, but I have been able to use this soggy mess, and it does actually clean really well. So I know I've got the cleansing side of it. It was getting the firmness, and I think I might have the firmness ready on that one. So hopefully I'll be able to get that recipe out to my patrons very soon. I did manage to get the yellow sample soap dough done as well. I don't think I'm going to get any made tomorrow, but I will set my oils up ready to go for next week so I can make some more, and hopefully we'll get those ones out. But it's been a really productive day. It's 20 minutes past my close time, so I'm going to go and gather all my things up, and I'm going to head home and go and see Miss Lucy Lou and have dinner with hubby. I'm going to cook his favourite dinner tonight, which is lasagna, because I've got time to cook that. Didn't have time to cook it on his birthday with picking up Lucy and everything, but he did ask for that night a lemon chicken stir fry, which I did do for him, and tonight I'm going to do his favourite of lasagna. So I'm going to go home and do that, and then we'll be back in tomorrow for market day. Hopefully it's a nice and busy day. I am running so far behind this morning. I came into the shop early so I could finish filming the cream that I was making. So I've just finished that. Got to finish potting them all up today so we can get them sent down to Rhonda soon. I'm really happy with the cream. Absolutely love it, but I'm not so happy with my labels. The pots are super cute, but they look like they should be round, but I don't think they are. They must be slightly conical, because you can see how the label on the back here doesn't meet up straight. So I'm going to have to actually have a little bit of a think about how I'm going to do these labels, because I really don't like this. This is driving me nuts. So let's get that off. So once I've got my door open, I will redesign the labels to go on here to get all the information that is needed. But as I said, I'm running a little bit behind, so I need to go and get that door open and then clean up all this mess that I've made before I can finish potting these up. Alright, so I found a way to get my labels on here. I've just made them a little bit smaller, so we've got a 1 centimetre gap in the back. It's not how I like to label my products. I'd much rather them have a complete wraparound, but given the conical shape of this, I don't have the patience to work out exactly what sort of angle to cut these labels on to make sure that they do wrap around nicely. So I'm just going to go with it like that for now. So I've got about 60 of these which I need to label up. It has been busy in the shop this morning. I've had lots of people coming and going, but I have had a couple of breaks, so I did mop out the back because the floor in the kitchen was absolutely disgusting. So I have been able to vacuum and mop out there. I also unmolded the soap, so once I close the shop this afternoon, I will be cutting those, and then I'll be able to start editing the videos for those two as well. But for now, I'm basically just going to potter about labeling these because I have got so many people coming through, which is really, really nice to see so many people out and about. It's sort of like the last week of school holidays, so I was a bit nervous about how many people would actually be out and how much spending money there is, because school holidays, there's always a lot less money to spend on the parents to spend on themselves, but it's going fairly well. So I think this week's going to be another really good one in the shop, especially for this time of year. So I'm going to keep getting on with these, and we'll see what else I managed to get done today. Alright, I'm at the end of my day. I have just finished cutting some soaps. This is a buttered popcorn soap. I am so super happy with this one. So just at the end of the day, just finished filming cutting these ones. It's been a super busy day, and I'm really stoked because there were actually 2 days this week where I only actually had 2 customers, and both of those customers spent under $20. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a bad week this week. I knew this month was going to be slow, but I didn't think it would be as bad as only making less than $20 a day. But I've actually finished the week off a whole lot better than I thought I would have, especially for this time of year. So important when you are in business. Don't go off a day by day or weekend by weekend sort of thing, because you will actually go into those disappointed sort of stages. It is always best to actually monitor how your business is going on either a monthly or a yearly, quarterly, that sort of basis. If you are doing it day by day or weekend by weekend, you're going to have good weekends, you're going to have bad weekends. So always break it up and look at it how you're going over a set sort of extended period of time, so that it gives you a far better idea of how your business is tracking along, and it doesn't make you feel so low when you have a day where you only, sell $20 worth of stuff. If I did that, I would probably be so miserable some days, but then you have the other days where you're selling a lot more than that, and they're your real high days. But when you look at it as an overall picture, that is how you know how your business is tracking along. So if you are in a shop like myself, you'd want to look at it weekly to see how you're going. If you're doing markets, I used to look at it as a month by month. I used to track how I was going as a month in a whole, and I also used to look at it quarterly to see what I was doing every 3 months, and then I would look at it as a year as well, just to make sure I was tracking along the way I should be for a year. But that is just something you gradually learn to do, and then it doesn't become so hard when you do have your real low, slow sort of days. But I am all cut up with these soaps. I just need to pop across to the shops and go and get a hot chicken for our dinner. I was going to do takeaway, but I've decided I really feel like chicken and salad and maybe some garlic bread for dinner tonight. So I'm going to go and get us a hot chicken. I also bought us a little rice paper roll kit. I got it off of Rolling Fun. They've got a store on Amazon, and it's brilliant. You can make rice paper rolls. I never used to be able to make these. They used to fall apart, used to get holes and all sorts, and I just gave up making them at home. But I thought I'll get myself this kit. And the first time I made them, my hubby asked me, where do we pay? Because they were just like store-bought. So I'm going to go and get chicken tonight, so that tomorrow both hubby and I have got the day off, so we don't have to leave Lucy alone. We'll actually have some leftover chicken to make rice paper rolls. So that's my sort of plan. And before I do head off, I did also want to just quickly want to give you a quick update based on some of the things I said in the December vlog and where I am at now kind of mentally. So I had mentioned that I'd got myself into a bit of trouble because I hadn't been making soaps and I didn't think I had enough to get me through the Christmas period. Luckily I was able to get a few extra soaps out very quickly. Well, I'll say quickly, it still took me 4 weeks, but I kind of just made a whole heap of soaps without thinking about videoing, and did very basic design, so I had enough to get me through that sort of Christmas time. And it wasn't, because a lot of people did send me messages, and it wasn't so much that I'd lost my mojo to make soaps. I was feeling a lot of pressure about social media and doing all these extra things outside of my business that essentially makes a business run. And I have learned over my sort of days off that I had over Christmas that there are a lot of makers, whether it's in the candle soap making or jewelry or farming or anything like that. There are a lot of people who are feeling exactly the same way that I was feeling. There was this pressure to come up with really good social media content in terms of reels, videos and that sort of thing. But we were sacrificing our businesses, and it was kind of that thing of, it's all well and good having this great social media presence, you know, where you've got these viral videos and stuff like that, but if you don't have the product to back it up because you don't have the time to make them, or maybe the quality slipped because you don't have the time to make them, then there's no point having that excellent social media presence. So I've come to the realization that this year I have to forego doing the reels and doing videos of everything I make, because if I keep doing that, I'm not going to let my business grow the way that I want it. So I've kind of rescheduled the way that I'm doing things. You're not going to miss out on content here. I've made sure that I've scheduled myself so that you guys will still get the videos come out on here, so you're not going to miss out. I've already discussed with my patrons how I'm changing how I do Patreon. They are getting less content coming out, but the content that I'm able to put out is far more concise, better thought out, probably a lot more valuable than what I was putting out. So although they get less content, they're actually getting more value out of it as well. But I've had to make some changes so that I can give myself time on a personal level. I can also grow my business but still bring content to people that really want to see it, and to help inspire others on their little journeys as well, or big journeys as well. So I'm in a far better place now than what I was at Christmas time. I have rescheduled. I've learned that I needed to adapt to my way of organizing to the way my business has grown and how it's changed, and I'm now in a far better place. And this month I feel so much more lighter. I don't feel the pressures and anything else like that. So if I can keep this going for the rest of the year, we'll definitely have plenty more soap making videos and vlogs coming for you as well. And in March I do hope to actually take you down, as I mentioned mentioned earlier, down to, I think I mentioned it earlier, I do hope to take you down to the Melbourne conference that I'm going to and actually show you some really great parts of this country while I'm at it as well. So that is it for me now. I'm going to go and get us some dinner for tonight. I'm going to go home. I'm going to spend a couple of days with Miss Lucy Blue, who has, you probably don't really need to know this, but who has finally gone to the toilet. So that was a huge relief for us. Taking her to the vet tomorrow so she can have her checkup, and then I'm going to spend the day with her and hubby as well for the next 2 days. It's Australia Day this coming week, so it's going to be a short week in the shop, which I actually don't have much to do in here next week, so I'm going to probably knock out a few extra soaps while I've got the time. Anyway, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed coming along. Until the next video comes out, I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you then. Bye.